Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, hey, Ufi, you're just 2 points off now from securing a top 6 finish. Do you feel like it's within your grasp?
Yeah, it is. Well, it's in our hands at the moment. We got 2 games to go. We've got a very important game tomorrow against Western Sydney where we can hopefully get a result and cement our spot in the top 6.
Yeah, because is it a case of you'd rather get it done yourself by winning, or does it not matter if you lose and Sydney end up kind of slipping up?
No, look, it's very important that we do the job that we need to do to get ourselves in the position that we want to be in. So we've got an opportunity to do that tomorrow evening against Western Sydney. If we have a good result and pick up the 3 points, then we know where we sit, and then we have one more game to go after that.
Yeah, and I just wanted to get an injury update on a few guys. You've obviously had a pretty extensive injury list, so it's always hard to keep up. I'll just go through them kind of one by one. So Josh Saturia missed the last game. Where's he at?
He'll probably miss this one as well.
Okay, and how about Josh Laws?
Lawsy we got him in certain parts of the session the other day, but I think he struggled a little bit, so I don't think he'll be ready for this game either.
Okay, and Callan Elliott?
Callan Elliott is still doing his own program at the moment, so won't be available for this game.
Okay, and so I guess with Clayton Lewis as well, I mean, he's not going to be back for this one?
I think it's probably easier to name the players that are playing, mate, than the ones that are not playing. So, no, look, for us, our expectation wasn't with Clayton to be involved in this game anyway. It was probably looking forward that if we were going to get him an early mark in the sense that he was going to return early, it was probably going to be the Melbourne City game.
Yeah, so with all of those guys, are any of them likely to feature like in a regular season game? Like, are you expecting any of them to be back?
Not sure. We just take it day by day at the moment with those guys, but I can't say yes and I can't say no.
Okay, and so David Ball, you rested him for the last one. How's he kind of held up after having a game off, and is he likely to kind of do what he's done in the previous games by having a jab and playing in this one?
Yeah, look, he's feeling good, which is a great thing. I think the rest has helped the injury on his toe, so he'll be available to be involved against Western Sydney tomorrow, which is a positive sign for us. Look, he's still going to need a jab before the game, regardless, to play the game, but he'll be available to start that one.
Because is that like a risk? I guess he and the team are kind of willing to take, knowing that this is such a big game that you do have a great opportunity to wrap up the top 6.
Yeah, well, look, we have to look at the risk and the reward, and I think the reward is very high. So I believe we need to take that risk for this game, and we've done that in the games previously as well. So, look, it's one of those ones where, again, we're working off the player, off Bally and how he feels, and we go from there.
Yeah, and just a final one before pass on to Nigel. You obviously just played Western Sydney about 10 days ago in Auckland, and although you won, it was a pretty close game, and they obviously slipped over with the penalty to potentially equalise. Is this a game that, despite them being so low down on the table, that you can't take for granted as well?
No, look, at the end of the day, they're a very good side. They've got some very good players. I'm sure they're going to come out and play the game to win, regardless of where they sit on the table. I'm thinking that they probably want to finish a lot higher than where they currently are towards the back end of the season. So it's not going to be an easy game. It was a tough game in Auckland. We got the result that we needed, which was the 3 points. So it's going to be a familiar game where we're pretty tight, and at the end of the day, we need to do a job.
Cool, thanks.
Hey, Ufuk, hopefully the internet connection holds up. It's been a bit ropey through this, so I do apologise if it does cut out. With regards to Mr. Ball, is it an injury that is going to heal given time? So if you can get him, an extra 3-4 days off his feet prior to the playoffs, that is going to actually help heal it, or is it really just about a maintenance issue with regards to the injury?
No, he's going to need more than 3-4 days for it to actually heal. So I think the off season will be a good time for his toe to heal. He's going to need a lot more time than that. But it's one of those things where it's still where he can still get some game time and play. Obviously, he's very sore once the jab wears off, and he's very sore after the game that he plays. So it's going to need more than 3-4 days. But like we said earlier, we've got a very important game that he wants to be involved in. So we'll use him to the best that we can, and then try to maintain him again throughout the season.
I guess another way I should have put that is he doing more damage, or is it at a point where he can't do any more damage to this injury?
He's not doing any more damage, but he's not making it any better either.
Fair enough. What's the main area that you just want to see a little bit tighter, a little bit sharper? Again, it's been a little bit up and down-ish. Is there any particular area that you're still really driving the lads on, wanting to see better executed in the games?
I think with the group that we have, the young group we have, is more consistency within the games that we play. Look, I thought against Victory, I don't think we played bad, but I don't think we were good either, to be honest, at the same time. So, you know, it was always going to be a tough game going down to Melbourne and playing Melbourne Victory there at Amy Park. Getting back into the game was a positive sign. That's something that we struggle with this season. So that's something that we can build on. But like I say, for us, there's 2 games to go, and we just need to get a result. We'd like to play a certain brand of football. If we can do that at the same time and get the win, that's very important. But for us, the main goal is to get 3 points tomorrow evening and then put us in a good position.
Ufuk, are you a believer in momentum? And with regards to that question, what I'm meaning is that if you guys qualify and get into the playoffs, do you believe that you can carry momentum off a win off your final game into the playoffs? Are you someone who just looks at it, goes, right, we're now done with the league, we're now into like a cup style tournament where we've just got to win 3 sudden death games and we're a champion?
Yeah, look, for us, I think the most important thing is we get a positive outcome tomorrow evening, and then we'll look at it on how, you know, with certain players, like Hoops coming back from injury, and how many minutes we can give him in the next game or even the game tomorrow evening, and try to build them up towards the final. So the most important thing is that we finish in the top 6, and then we can take it from there.
That's all I've got, Coach. Thank you.
Cheers.
Also, can I just ask too, how do you rate Sydney's chances of winning both their remaining games?
Look, for me, that's their problem. That's their issue and what they need to do and how to get the result for those 2 games. But for us, our focus is on what we need to do. And like I said, the good thing is everything is in our hands, you know, and what we do on the park tomorrow evening to get the result. And then we've got a very important game against Melbourne City. So hoping that, fingers crossed, that we get a good result tomorrow evening and we don't leave it for the last game of the season and we don't rely on other teams losing for us to make the top 6.
Yeah, and last season you went on that incredible run and just fell short. And you lost like some pretty key personnel from the team as well. How do you think this year's team kind of compares to last season's?
Yeah, look, last season we had some, you know, we had a better, well, I don't want to say better squad. We had a lot more imports within the team as well, a lot more influential players. It was disappointing to finish the way that we did, one point off with, I think we had a +10 goal difference as well. This year might be the case that we make the top 6 without not winning our last 2 games, but that's not the goal at the moment. But and we'll probably have a not such a great goal difference this season. So it's just funny how things pan out in football at times. Look, we've picked up the necessary points in the season and where we're sitting at the moment. And the focus will be for us to just get the job done tomorrow evening. Yeah,
because if you do go on and make the playoffs, or even just to be still in contention at this stage of the season, like how do you think you've done it? You know, considering you have lost some pretty influential players. You've been over in Australia again. You potentially could come in with the worst goal difference in kind of playoff history. Is there a particular point in the season where you think you'd kind of just done enough to get you to where you are now?
Yeah, look, you can always look back at the season and go, you know, we did well here, and you know, we look at games where, you know, we even the first game of the season where we conceded late against Macarthur, and you go, that's another 2 points we could put on top. Against Adelaide, when we conceded late again, that's another 2 points we can put on top. And then there's games where we thought, you know, well, you know, we got a good result. We were the last team to beat Melbourne Victory in the season. So, you know, there's games that we've picked up points where we thought maybe we wouldn't have, and there's games where we dropped points where we possibly shouldn't have. So, you know, it evens itself out during the season. But look, what has got us through is probably the consistency of the players that we've had from the last 2 seasons within the squad. We heavily rely on the structure to get us to a certain point with the players' roles and responsibilities, which I believe has helped us get us over the line to this point as well. And look, we're just persevere, we're resilient, we just keep going and try to play the game that's in front of us. Yeah,
I guess if you do make it in, you can shout Chiefy a coffee for that stoppage time win against Perth, I think it was, a few weeks back. And I guess, like, with only a couple of games to go, there are a lot of players who are still coming off contract. You went through a little period where a lot of guys were being re-signed. Has anyone aside from Gary Hooper kind of informed the club that they're looking at moving on next season?
No, we've still got a few players coming off contract, a few players that want to make a decision on what their future looks like, and then they're not in no rush to make that decision, which is understandable for players because they're always going to look for an option or a better option that they think works for them. So look, we're working in the background at the moment, looking at players for next season. So we're already working towards what it will look like for us as a club and a team for next season. So look, again, there can be a lot of distractions this time of the season with players coming off contract and where they're going to be and where they're going to end up, where they're going to stay or whether they're going to go. But my role is to just keep the boys focused on the task at hand.
Yeah, because I guess Reno is kind of a key one that the club forked out the first kind of transfer fee to bring him in, and he's been with the team for 3 seasons now. Is he someone that you still want to keep around? I mean, there's probably going to be lots of competition, I presume, for his signature.
Yeah, look, Philip, as you know, mate, everyone wants our players. Everyone will always want our players from Wellington Phoenix. So for us, Reno is an important player, especially when he's involved and when he can get consistent games. I think he's very influential for the team. So we're having that discussion. I've had a discussion with him last week again, Reno, and he's not too sure of what he wants to do at the moment.
Yeah, okay. And what about Josh Soturio and James McGarry? Because there's kind of strong links that they're both kind of heading to the Newcastle Jets. Is that the case that you're going to be losing those two for next season?
We could be, possibly.
Were they two that perhaps there wasn't an offer for them to stay? I mean, I would kind of, as you say, players have different reasons for leaving. James McGarry, someone who hasn't always been a regular starter, so understandably if he's looking at other options, but were they two you wanted to keep around?
Yeah, the way you got to look at it, Philip, is look, we work within a salary cap competition at the same time, so it's very important how we use that to recruit players and where we need to probably spend the money on where we believe we need to recruit a good visa player or a good local player. So sometimes it's not just about whether the player is a good player or not a good player. It's sometimes what we need to do for what's best for the team.
Yeah, okay. And just a final one with some of those young guys as well that are looking to put their hand up for a contract extension. Do you kind of talk to those young guys about what they need to do in the last few weeks, or is it a case of you just kind of assess what they've kind of brought to the squad throughout the season?
Look, it's been a great opportunity for the young boys to be able to come in and step in. Possibly our situation at the start of the season has given these opportunities to these young boys. For us, look, it's been difficult in the sense where, I'm expecting consistency from young boys that haven't played at this level, which has been probably tough for them to be able to maintain that quality and that intensity. But I think it's been a great opportunity for their development and their growth for themselves, and also for us as a club to be involved this season. Look, and we've already signed a few of the young boys moving forward anyway, so they'll be part of the squad moving forward. And like I said, we're working in the background of what it looks like for us next season as well.
All good. Cool. Cheers for all that and all the best for the game.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one. Thank you.
Thanks, Ufuk.
Appreciate it.